the best service that we can do, I don't think people really understand outside of the tennis industry, even inside the tennis industry, like players, what tennis pros really are. And we're more than just people that coach tennis. We're there to help guide them along. Like we work with so many demographics. We work with them on. We work with kids, young kids. We work with teenagers. We work with middle-aged adults. We work with elderly adults. We work with so many demographics. We work with everyone and everything. We're one of the few sports that touch on every age demographic, and
okay. Got it. Okay, so we really need to, let's talk about, okay, tennis for the sport of a lifetime includes pandemics. This is when we shine. This is when we shine, because we're going to help be the people that kind of help get them through. So I'm going to go live now. I'm going to go live on Facebook.
Okay.
And then I got to move my camera a little bit here. So I got my phone down there, and I got my iPad right there. And so now we're live on Facebook, or we're going to be in a second. All right. So can you also go live on Facebook on your end? Do you have another device you can use?
Yeah, but my phone's only got 18% battery life, and I'm out of outlets to plug it in.
Okay. Well, I have a hard stop at 6:30 here. So, Mike, say hi, and then I'm going to let the audience say if they can hear you.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Yeah. Well, nobody's on yet. I think they're getting tired of me.
That was waste.
I'm glad
I wasted all my good energy for nobody.
Yeah. Sorry about that. All right. So, so the reason we're on is because the news just broke that that social distancing is going to continue until the end of April. And I think that's going to mean different things for different people. So, like here in the Bay Area, we're about to start week 4 of shelter in place. So some of you are a couple of weeks behind us, and it hasn't been that easy, but it hasn't been as horrible as you might imagine. But now we're looking at 5 more weeks of this stuff, and more people kind of joining what we've been doing for a number of weeks. So anyway, in the pre-show, before we got started here, Mike, you were talking about how now is kind of like the time to really reinforce that we as tennis coaches are actually more than just the people that teach you how to play a game. Why don't you flesh that out a little bit?
Yeah, so we're more than just tennis coaches. We do more than just teach tennis. We work with every age demographic, and we're one of the few sports that actually do that. We work with toddlers. We work with kids. We work with teenagers. We work with young adults, older adults. We work with every age demographic, and not every sport can say that. We work with guidance. We work with, getting you into colleges. We work with, bouncing ideas. I spoke with a gentleman earlier today, and he was bouncing business ideas off of me. I mean, what other business are you going to do that with? And it's more than just tennis. It's relationships that you build with these people. I know earlier this week, I was just contacting my players just to see how they were doing. And I feel like that, dude, that's kind of freaky that glass you guys not showing up fully. It's kind of blending in the background there.
Okay, so wait, let me cut in on that one. I know you're in the middle of a point, but this has to be entertaining or it's not even really worth it. Okay, so couple of house cleaning things that you should know. One, If you want to get on the Zoom call with us, send me a message on Facebook and I'll give you the code to get in, right? So when you come in, you'll be muted until I unmute you. Anyway, that's number one. Number two, Mike's referencing the fact that on Zoom I have this background, and then when I hold my beer up, it looks invisible for a period of time until it kind of breaks through the algorithm of the graphics. So it's making this very odd science fiction disappearing. The invisible beer. All right. So now back to our regular scheduled programming.
But it's like, I'm catching up with my members and catching up with my players just to check in to see how they're doing. And it's more than just a game. We care about these people and we care about the relationships. And, for me, it's always been, tennis has been more than just a game. It's been more than just hitting a yellow fuzzy ball across the net. It's always been there and always will be there. And I don't know how you feel about that, but I'm sure that a lot of us that are in the industry feel the same way.
Well, from my personal history, I would say tennis saved my life. And I mean that with all sincerity, that, not a lot of people know my real history of growing up. Not too many people get to hear that stuff, but, I had a pretty interesting, which means not very good, childhood. So, and I was coming out of some substance abuse issues when I took up tennis. And if it hadn't been for some really cool and caring tennis pros who took me under their wing and encouraged me and kind of helped build me up, I might have gone back to that lifestyle. And, I'm quasi proud of the fact that I've had multiple, near-death experiences. And, that's, it's nothing to brag about, but it does make for some interesting stories. But, so you, a coach, you listening to this, you're going to run into some people where you're their linchpin. You're the person that keeps them sane. You're going to teach some lessons that are practically counseling sessions. And I'll tell you what, so I'm going to go a little deeper into that. So last summer, I had one of my newish kind of 2.0 players, and I could tell from the conversation that we were having, based on kind of confirming the lesson, that not all was well with her, right? So I was like, hey, if you want to cancel the lesson, that's fine. I understand you're going through some stuff, blah, blah, blah. And so she said, no, I think I really need to come and have that lesson, because, she's been taking care of her elderly mom who was not doing well. She's probably pretty close to death's door. So we had this lesson, and I'll tell you what, within 5 minutes, it was quite clear that we weren't really going to hit more than about 150 tennis balls in that lesson. So we talked about grieving. We talked about how hard it is to watch your parents deteriorate to the point where you can't communicate with them anymore. And these things happen, and anybody who's been coaching, for a while has had an experience like this. And those are the moments when you're like, wow, that, hey, I am more than a tennis coach, and you really become an important person in those people's lives. So, that happens to, and then, I don't know, I probably would say in 2019, I probably had 5 or 6 lessons that were similar to that, where the person really needed to talk about something, and we really didn't have a great lesson, but it was worth even more. And I was actually joking with them afterwards. I'm like, I need to start charging psychotherapy fees, because, that's like $180 an hour.
That's good. So you could ask any coach that's been coaching for more than 6 months, and they're going to tell you that they've had at least one or two experiences like that, that they've had, a player or any experience that they've had to talk to them, get something out, that they've had to do some sort of talk through moment with them, get through. And it's not just tennis, it's any sport. And it's not that we're counselors. It's that we're humans too. And it's just part of having that emotional connection and caring for that player. And, I don't like calling, personally, I don't like calling kids on the court. I want to call them players.
Mm-hmm.
I heard that in a seminar one time, and that really stuck with me, that everyone's a player, everyone's an athlete. And I don't want to call them kids because, they're tennis athletes, they're tennis players. And,
well, here's another reason why too, because in some cultures, kids are goats. I've had people, so I've learned that actually some people are offended by the use of the word kids in relation to their children.
That could be a bad thing.
Yes. I'm feeling the pain of that. Yes.
Sorry, dad jokes are free.
Yes, exactly. All right, keep going with your point though. I mean, it's a good thing. So, right now, it's really an important time for us to maintain contact with our people because, some of them are going out of their minds crazy. And we need to be in touch. I mean, this is inspiring me. I think tomorrow morning I'm gonna resend out some texts, and I'm going to also create an online learning experience for my players where with all my beginners, I'm going to do like a basic, here's how to play tennis. All the little things that you need to know before you can actually play a match.
And then here's the other thing too, and I kind of like this, but I kind of hate this too, is we say, if you need anything, please don't hesitate and reach out. But what if they don't know what to ask for? Like, what if they're a beginner and they don't know, okay, well, I'm sheltered in, I can't play tennis. I'm sheltered in, I can't do this. Do you know how many parks have locked up the gates on their courts? Like, you can go for a walk outside. Like in my apartment complex, we have one tennis court with the 10-foot high fence all the way around the court, but it's locked up.
Well, I wanted to see you attempt to climb that because I wanted to see Mike coming down. I wanted to see Mike on re-entry.
No way, dude. I know.
I was daring you. I was like, do it. All right.
There is not enough tequila in this world to make me climb 10-foot high fence.
No,
and I'm not saying. Let me rephrase this. In this too censored PC culture, tequila is my drink of choice. I'm not saying anything insensitive. I love tequila. I drink it a lot. I was drinking it last night. I'm not saying anything insensitive there. I love tequila. It's my favorite drink.
You know who has really expensive taste in tequila?
Not me.
Yeah,
I like the cheap stuff.
Craig O'Shaughnessy only goes for top shelf tequila. I'm serious. I was with him in PTR. I was with him in PTR.
I've drank with Craig O'Shaughnessy before. So, he only drinks, whenever I drink with Craig, he only drinks beer though.
Well, no, he sent a minion out to go get some top shelf tequila, and I'll tell you what, that stuff was like butter.
Oh, was it? Nice.
Yeah, it was like alcoholic butter. It was like amazing. So Kelly Baker's enjoying the humorous part of the conversation here. So so Mike, you know what? Remember this, right? Pete, remember these that you gave me when I was in Florida?
The phone ball. You can barely see it with your background. Yeah.
People, you can play tennis in the house with this if mom says okay.
If
mom says okay. You know, and
If
then
mom
I got
says
the
okay.
little squishy little soccer balls. I mean, you can throw stuff around. You can work on things. I mean, if you have a safe place in your house, you know, you
You
can
know what
use that.
else is good?
Yeah, red balls,
Balloons.
red balls, balloons,
Balloons are good.
MBTA foam balls, which will be rebranded soon. I want to dare you to make a video of you hitting against the wall in your house with foam balls.
I still have the hitting wall at work I can go to.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
I may
So,
do
okay.
that.
But now, so I want to make an announcement.
Uh-oh.
One thing all of a sudden this kicked in because as soon as we heard that the end of April is the end of social distancing, and
For now.
I'm for now. So, and they're thinking that we'll be at the top of the curve around Easter for the disease. So, you know, it's looking more and more hopeful that we see the end in sight. So that's good news. But here's what, you know, as soon as that came across, I'm like, you know what, we got to step up and start making some plans because this is going to be another, you know, 5 weeks or maybe 6 weeks or could be 7. So anyway, starting this week, I'm going to start some Zoom meetings, and we're going to have one for directors of tennis. We're going to have another one for high school coaches. We're going to have another one on leadership, and we're going to have another one on how to teach better tennis. So I'm going to be announcing the times of those. They're largely going to be in the mornings, Pacific Standard Time. So tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m., but it could change. So message me if you want to know if it changed. I'm going to be meeting with Daniel Ragsdale and then other people who are interested in the topic that we're discussing. And then also Amanda Schutzel, however you say that. What's her middle name? She has a hyphenated name. Anyway, she and I are going to be doing a high school coaches one. And then anybody who wants to do how to teach better tennis with me, you suggest which day we're going to do that. And that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to be hosting Zoom meetings every day of the week. And there will be a social fun aspect of it, you know, so that we can, you know, have some fun with it and not just sit around bored, and let's make constructive use of the time. And, you know, I mean, I've been in kind of this ethical dilemma of should I ramp up my selling of information products at this time? And I've decided not to. I'm just going to do everything for free. And then if anybody, you know, has this urge that they really need to donate or they have the means to do that, fine. But I'm going to assume that most people are really hurting right now. So thanks for letting me have that lengthy diatribe. That's one of my favorite words, by the way, diatribe.
That's a good word.
Thank you.
I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna try to put that in my vocab.
Okay, yeah, you study that word and memorize it, and then I want to hear you using it later. So, you ever catch Sarah all of a sudden using Mike Baugh terminology? When it starts kicking in, you're just going to be like, wait a second, that's my word. Yeah, it happens. It'll happen.
It'll never happen.
No, it will. You know, trust me, it's going to happen. And you're
it already has. It already has, but I can't say anything about it because then she's going to catch on and then she's going to stop doing it.
Oh, right. Right. Can't put your finger on it. All right. So I've got a hard stop at 6:30. What are some other issues that we need to get into that are going to help the people out here? And then if you're watching on Facebook Live right now and you want to come in on the Zoom meeting, you're welcome. So just message me. Message me here on Facebook. I'll give you the code. Come on in. It's a party. Mike, you have a little liquid refreshment there, a little adult beverage.
No, it's water. Okay. Straight up water. Trying to drink my 10 to 12 glasses a day.
Good for you.
Staying refreshed. Liquidate the body out. Get the lymphatic system going.
Yeah. Pump that out.
I'm only drinking during that podcast.
Got it. All right. That's a disclaimer. That's important. Notice Yeah,
I
special notice. I only drink when I'm talking with my wife on Facebook Live.
yeah, pretty
Oh,
much.
last night, did you see my comment last night about how
I
Sarah said statistics?
I try not to mention your comments. I try to stay away from your comments on Facebook Live.
You might lose your train of thought.
Yeah.
So no, I thought that was like a really good, having had a couple of drinks misspeak right there. Because the statistics say, right?
Oh, it's always a good
Oh
time.
man, I
'Cause,
I gotta I don't want statistics. All right, do we have anything more important to talk about? So
so
to recap, I mean, this is when we sort of capitalize, for lack of a better word, on the fact that we're deeply ingrained in the lifestyle of the people we coach, and we need to maintain that connection. I mean, are there any other keys to that?
and so here's the thing, and I've been talking to a couple coaches here and there. I think there are so many gray areas with this. It's very regional, wherever you go, and also depends on where you teach. It
Yeah,
depends on the club, the actual physical location of the club, and how it's set up. Are you at a uh, gym and fitness center? Is like when to get to your courts, do you have to actually physically walk through the club that has a gym set up to get to your courts? Like, does that have, like, all this stuff plays into account whether if you should do this or not? And
do what? You mean play tennis?
yeah, like, to
Well,
even be
okay.
open
So
to.
wait, I got to cut you off right there. So did you see that Dr. Jayanthi of the USTA has now basically said that no one should be playing tennis?
That article
So
got pulled.
so Kovacs came out with something with Dr. Jayanthi, right? And then Lisa Stone put it out there, and it showed the graph of relative risk. And then Lisa today pulled it because Dr. Gianthi said, now, no one should be playing tennis. Now, I asked for clarification on that, whether that meant exactly what I just said, but I'm going to err on the side of caution, because I guess they have discovered that you could transmit it through a sweaty tennis ball or whatnot. But that's the latest. The USDA's position is don't play tennis.
So here's my problem with that: is that is a broad statement.
Okay, so
That is
refine
a
it for me.
very,
I put
very,
the mic
very
on,
broad
refine the
statement.
process on
And
that statement.
and
I don't
that,
like it either. So
there is, I thought his article was very well written, and the problem is you can't go back and read the article because the article was pulled. The article was on the IPTA site, which is ran by Dr. Kovacs, and I thought Dr. Janthi did a fabulous job. It was very well written. It was very sourceful. There was a lot of sources in there. You could click on the links to see the recommendations, the CDC recommendations. It was very well thought out. I think there was a lot of backlash on that as well, because there are some people that are going to the extremes on this as well, that no, you should not do any of this stuff, or whatever. But like I said a few minutes ago, there are a lot of gray areas. Nothing is black and white, and as clean cut as people want to make things, yes or no.
yeah,
There are a lot of maybes. And if you go down and you make a checklist of how does this person enter the facility? How does this person get to the courts? How does this person take the lesson? Is there serving involved? Is there transmitted? Does the person touch the balls? How does the person
okay, I'm gonna okay, all right, I gotta cut you off there because
you know,
all right, now
and
here's what I'll say though. I mean, if you go by yourself and hit against the wall, no big deal, right? If
yeah,
you go by yourself and go hit against the ball machine, no big deal. Wipe down the ball machine when you get done. I mean, it's funny because my son went today to go play tennis with his friend, and you know, not a lot of people around here really have the coronavirus, but we've been in shutdown for a long time, and I'll tell you what, you get bored really quick, like out of your mind bored, staying home all the time. So, you know, I told him what the USTA doctor said, and he's an adult, so he made his own decision, right? Now, if he brings it home to mom and dad, well, then he's going to have a hard time living that one down.
yeah.
But
And that's the other thing
you're
too.
going stir crazy. So,
and that's the other thing too, is if you have people that may be susceptible, if you have a senior citizen that you take care of on a daily basis that depend on you, then no, maybe you shouldn't go and expose yourself to a group population. Maybe you need to stay at home. You know, maybe you shouldn't do that. But on the other end, there was a gentleman that asked me to hit with him. He is dying to get out of the house. He has been sheltered in. He is dying for activity. He loves tennis. And he asked me, when is the time that the courts are the most dead? And luckily I'm at a place where he can come in, walk straight from the parking lot to the court, not have to go through any doorway or anything like that. And we got on him on the court where he didn't have to touch a ball. The only thing he touched with his racket. He didn't have to pick up the balls. He is an older gentleman, and we were able to get him a workout in.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
nobody else were on the courts.
I'm with you. I mean, I'm big on trusting people to be responsible. And I'm also big on personal responsibility. In a lot of countries in this world, if you do something stupid and it kills you, then you're an idiot. You know, but here, if you do something stupid and it kills you, then your family's got a wrongful death lawsuit pending.
Yeah.
I mean, so part of it's the culture of fear, litigious society complex. That's another good word. I like the complexes myself. So I think Rich Nair said he might be interested in coming on the show.
Oh,
so
that'd be great to hear from Rich.
Rich, you got my phone number. My phone number is the ID. Let me see if I can send you a message here really quick. So
I haven't talked to Rich since New York. That'd be great to hear from Rich.
Yeah, let's see if we can get him on here. So I have a hard stop in 15 minutes. Oh, shoot. Using my actual iPad to make this message is not as easy as it should be. Amanda Fink is in the house, and she's gonna sing for us.
Oh, that'd be great.
No, she's not.
No,
but I'm gonna sing for a moment. I'm gonna sing for like one really bad moment there. All right, so keep going with your point there. Why don't you flesh that out about the responsibility thing? Oh, Rich is cooking dinner. He can't come on. Amanda, you want to come on the call? Just call me, Amanda, if you want to come on this call, on the Zoom call. Amanda Fink. All right, so yeah, I mean, it's an interesting thing how quickly we go to shutdown. It's like all or nothing. I've never been a fan of like punishing all the kids because of the bad behavior of one kid.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not really that effective. But unfortunately, though, enough people have been ignoring the order that they're actually keeping this whole thing going longer. So I've actually been a lot more respectful of the limits of shelter in place than I am with most laws. So, when we were under shelter in place, and it was like non-essential travel was banned, my kids and I went to the beach, and then again, nobody was there. And we traveled in our little self-contained home that has 4 wheels, and we took our little home, our smaller version of our home, to the beach, and nobody was there. So we kept our distance from everyone. And then the next day, then we got in our little smaller version of home, and we went to Sausalito across the Golden Gate Bridge.
So I tell you what, I was in last Sunday before the county commissioner passed the order for the Clearwater to stay in place here. Sarah and I went to Clearwater Beach, not on the beach, but just to go down there and walk and whatever. We saw less than a dozen people on Clearwater. And this is the time when it's supposed to be the busiest. We walked into a t-shirt shop and the doors were open. The guy's like, everything is half off. Everything is half off. Any t-shirt you want, $10. It was like he's begging for business.
Right. It's a buyer's market for sure.
Buyer's market right now for sure. Less than a dozen people right now. Restaurants are going. They're takeout or just closed up. I know several restaurants are just closed to their doors because they can't even afford to keep a cook for takeout. And it's just a really tough time for everyone. And then, the stay-at-home order got passed on Thursday for the area. So actually for us, because we're considered recreation, we're allowed to stay open for the time being. But we actually are considered. We made the decision to go singles only at our club right now. So singles only right now for our club. So
and that's reasonable. And it's I've been getting messages from my club members, and the weird thing about our club is that they don't often close the main gate, so there's usually access, and there's almost always somebody working on the golf course because they have to keep up the golf course. So I've been getting these messages from my members, and I haven't been at the club for fully 3 weeks now. And they're like, hey, can we still play? And I'm like, well, if you play, I don't see you. I don't know. I don't know if you can play. The gate's not locked. But
so did they not take down the net?
The club is closed. The gate's not locked. I'm not there. I don't know. I mean, I can't tell them, yes, you can play, but I'm not going to tell them not to play.
So did they not take down the nets when they closed the club?
No, we're not. I mean, it's a country club that doesn't care about tennis really, so they just wouldn't want to go to that trouble.
Because most of the clubs over here, when they closed tennis, they took down the nets.
Wow. See, that's a problem. So, okay, Bruce Holloway's asking the question, is how safe is playing outdoors? Well,
how safe is walking outside?
And here's another thing. Now that you said that, I'm going to say this. All right, the kids, whenever I get done with a season of high school tennis, the kids always go, Coach, are you coming back next year? And I'm like, I don't know. I could get hit by a truck. Tomorrow is not guaranteed, period. So, I mean, the thing that stupefies me is how this pales in comparison with other diseases, with the flu, with
pneumonia.
I mean, so I don't know. But at the same time, I respect the fact
it is in my own opinion, it is too soon to know the full effects to fully compare it. It's apples and oranges right now because it is too soon to fully compare the numbers.
All right. Well,
we don't know. Yeah. We don't know. It's only been what, 3-4 weeks?
Oh, no. It's been going on since January.
Okay, so 2 months.
Yeah,
It's not even April yet.
right. But, already in the Bay Area, we're reaching the peak and it's starting the curve is flattening already here.
Okay. Well, that's a
And
good thing.
Santa Clara County was a spike in the United States. It was one of the first places to really spike. And because Santa Clara County had so many cases, then Alameda County, which is neighboring, started to stay at home. So shelter in place, because we didn't want to catch it from Santa Clara, where Silicon Valley is and all the smart people who should probably know better. But so anyway, Bruce asked the question, how safe is it to play outdoors? And we went immediately into sarcastic joke land. But, I think it's safer because you have the atmosphere. You're in an indoor club, then things are contained. And so whatever germs you have, there's no wind to blow things around. There's no direct sunlight to kill germs and disinfect and all that. So on the little chart that they put on the ITPA, then they said playing indoors was actually a little more risky than playing outdoors. Stan Oli is here. Maybe we can get Stan to come join the call. Amanda is being a crybaby. LOL, I'm taking forever to get the app back on my phone. I'll call you if I get there. All right, Amanda. Stan Oli, you want to get on this Zoom call with Mike, and then you can actually see his lovely bearded face. So message me if you want to do that.
One thing I love about Stan and Playmate is if you have an iPhone, you don't even have to use the touchpad or the remote. You can use the app on your iPhone. And then that way
so Stan, get that in the marketing materials like ASAP. So like, here's an interesting thing. I'm actually working with, I'm considering consulting with a company that does esports. So now they've had to like shut down all their game trucks and they can't have gaming tournaments anymore during this, right? So then now, now they're going to have to change their website, and front and center on the website is going to be a message about the cleanliness of the monitors and the keyboards that they use and how the procedures that they do to mitigate transmission of diseases. Now, I think that the silver lining behind all this, and I have about 6 minutes left on this call, is that maybe people will start to take the flu more seriously. Because one thing I just can't stand is when people let their kids go to school while they're sick, making other kids sick. And also, I hate the corporate culture of, it doesn't matter if you're exhausted or sick or whatever, you got to grind it out. You got to put in your 60 hours this week. We see a lot of our clients have been on this treadmill of extreme stress, of working long hours and traveling too much and being under stifling pressure to perform. I mean, I can think right now of one guy that I had to talk to him about how his son was starting to tell me about how sad he was about his absent father. And I like this guy. I mean, he's really a nice guy. And I would go, hey, what's your deal? I mean, can you tell your company you don't want to travel so much? What's going on? Because I'll tell you what, Finn really misses his dad.
So maybe one of the great things that's going to come of this, there's going to be less meetings. There's going to be less need for travel. There's going to be more work from home. There's going to be less need for, that unnecessary office space. Maybe there's going to be a lot of good things come from this.
I sure hope so. I mean, it could be a really big wake up call for a lot of people. Stan only says, I have major OCD, so amen about the flu and any sickness. Stan, come on the call, because we've got 4 minutes left, and we want to see Stan Oli lending credibility to the talk, right? Because if we get Stan on, then like people will pay attention. So, oh, he didn't respond. Now I feel sad. All right, so I'm holding out hope that Amanda Fink is going to figure out how to dial into the call. She says she's not good at things, but she graduated from USC. And you know what that is? University of Spoiled Children. That's what we say in NorCal. And then we have worse things to say about UCLA. And it starts with an F. But anyway.
I've heard multiple things about USC and UCLA from Sarah because she's ASU alum.
That's a NorCal versus SoCal thing. And then the sad part is our NorCal teams just get beat up by them like all the time. So it's pretty sad. Anyway, 3 minutes left. So we're not sure how to. Okay, Stan, do you have Zoom? You're supposed to message me if you want to get on. I don't think it's going to happen. Amanda, hold it out. Maybe we can get Amanda Fink on for the last 60 seconds of this call just to beautify the meeting. Wait, Mike, was that a sexist remark if I say Amanda beautifies the meeting?
Dude, I'm setting the bar way low with the beauty thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think just if we get a woman on here, then that automatically does that, right?
That's
my logic. I don't know. It's probably way off.
Like on a scale from 0 to 10, I'm like 0.0.
Wait, we got her.
Oh, no way.
We got her. All right. Amanda connecting to audio, and I better get her unmuted right there. Unmute audio. All right, Amanda.
I'm here.
Amanda, how are you?
Video. We want to get you videoed.
Oh no, I messed that up. I don't know how to go back. Okay, there
she is. We got Amanda. All right, so Amanda.
It only took 20 minutes.
What's that?
It only took 20 minutes, but it happened.
You know what? Now you are no longer a neophyte. You know how to do this stuff. So congratulations. Amanda made it. Dan, if you don't have Zoom, get Zoom on your phone or your device or whatever. All right, so you caught us right at the very end. So what are some inspirational words for coaches who really want to be there and be a reassurance to their clientele at this time?
Right. I'm sure you guys have already talked about this probably a ton, but listen, there's only so much realistically you can do. All you can do is stay in touch with people, whether that's via email, text, phone calls. I know that people love anything that's the more personal, the better. Are you throwing balls at me?
Or you can Zoom with them. And
oh my gosh. Wow. You've really gotten there. But yeah, the more personal you could be, the better. I know everyone gets 1,000 emails every day. I know my clients have actually reached out to me to text and check in to see how I'm doing. Had a couple of phone calls. So yeah, the more personal you can be, the better. But just know that, there's really only so much you can do. And let your members know what you're up to, honestly. Like, even if you're not putting out, like I haven't been putting out content. I'm kind of crawling out of the hole of nothing myself. But I've been telling people, hey, this is what, these are the kinds of things I've been doing. I've been going on jogs. I've been writing a little more. And people are excited to hear what you're doing. And the more you can be personable, the better.
Awesome. So that's a wrap. And I just want to announce one more time that I'm going to be hosting Zoom meetings all week. We're going to have a Zoom meeting once a day. Want to get more coaches on the call, and then people can do their voyeuristic thing on Facebook Live. I don't care, but I want to get more people to actually engage in the conversation. And we're going to be doing a call for directors of tennis. We're going to be doing a call for high school coaches. We're going to be doing a call for how to teach better tennis. And then we're going to do one on peer leadership. And tomorrow morning, I'm going to be, Stan had a good point. I'm going to mention that in a second. Tomorrow morning, I'm interviewing Emma Doyle, and we're going to talk about leadership at this time and how people can be a reassuring rock to their people. So Stan Oli's comment was really good, is on Facebook, check out the USPTA Facebook coronavirus page, but actually it's called COVID-19 support. So check that out. And final words, Mike?
No, just everyone be safe. Wash your hands. After you touch your face, wash your hands again. One thing. If you happen to go out to eat, if you go to Chick-fil-A and you go through the drive-thru, they have these packets of Perel wipes. Ask for a couple more, and then you can, if you're still teaching or whatever, you can, get the wipes to wipe down your baskets and your and give them
and go in the bathroom and steal all their toilet paper. Okay, Amanda, final word. A final word.
I've been on for 5 minutes and it's final words. That's how long it took me to figure this out. Hi, Mike.
Hey, Amanda. Okay. Now that you finally have Zoom, there's no excuse for your calls now. That we can go face to face on the calls now.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Totally can.
Final words.
That's it. I can use Zoom.
Okay. Amanda can use Zoom, and so and that's a big deal right now. Because I'm guessing that some people aren't on the call because they're afraid of Zoom or something, right? Or they like GoToMeeting. They're those GoToMeeting people. Well, so right now is a really good time to break out of your shell and get into a little more tech and make it happen.
Skill acquisition.
Skill acquisition will make you more valuable moving forward. So anyway, it's been real.
Use this time in lockdown for skill acquisition.
Yep. Well said. That's the final word. Take care.
Night.
All right, bye.